set fires. We're not the safety net for Arsenal and all these other immigrant groups who thought they'd be useful indefinitely. They're discovering they were only useful for specific purposes, and those purposes are expiring. They were useful for keeping wages down. They were useful for doing jobs white folks didn't want to do. They were useful as props in the America is not racist narrative. They were useful as wedges against Black American demands. But now, white America is looking at maintaining demographic dominance, and that means these groups have to go, or at least be marginalized so severely that they can't challenge white power. Now, these groups are experiencing the racism that we've been experiencing for 400 years. And suddenly they want solidarity. Suddenly they want coalition. Suddenly they want Black folks to show up for them, to protest for them, to use our political power on their behalf, to extend our movements to cover their issues. And I'm watching this with my head tilted because where was this energy before? Where were they when we were getting killed by police? They were silent or actively cheering it on, talking about how we should just comply, how we were thugs who deserved it. Where were they when we were demanding reparations? They were calling us entitled, saying we needed to get over slavery, claiming they came here with nothing and succeeded so we should too. Where were they when we were fighting mass incarceration? They were buying into the super predator narrative, locking their car doors when we walked by, clutching their purses, calling the police on our children. Where were they when we were being economically exploited? They were opening businesses in our neighborhoods and extracting wealth while treating us like criminals, refusing to hire us, following us around their stores. They called us lazy. They called us violent. They called us welfare queens and deadbeat dads. They said we make everything about race. They said we have victim mentalities. They said if we just worked hard and stopped complaining, we'd be fine. They said racism wasn't real. It was just our imagination, our excuse for personal failures. They aligned with the very system oppressing us, and they did it enthusiastically, strategically, deliberately. They made their choice. They chose proximity to whiteness over solidarity with us. They chose conditional acceptance over collective liberation. They made their bed, and now they want us to help them out of it. Now they want our organizing expertise, our protest strategies, our political infrastructure, our moral authority, our coalition. Now they want to talk about people of color solidarity and how we're all in this together. Miss me with that completely. Here's my position, and I'm going to be very clear about it because this is important. I'm not interested in solidarity with people who only want solidarity when they're the ones in trouble. I'm not interested in coalition with groups who threw us under the bus and are now surprised the bus ran them over too. I'm not interested in
You got to understand what she's saying. Listen, happened to you. I was born in 1967. Now, when I used to go to the store when I was young, I was in the store. The little kid say, "Mr. N, could you pass me that?" What? Okay, pass it to him. Then you go by your people's house. They got a dog calling N-word. Who you calling in? That's my dog. Like the other day, about a month ago, who's down the street? Dude kept hollering N-word, N-word. What are you hollering N-word for? That's his dog. Hey, ain't nobody black, ain't nobody in his house that color. So why would you call your dog that? And then when you walk in the store, back in the days, we used to go like to the mall, Hammond Square Mall. We walk into the oak tree, or you walk into some of them stores, they watch you. I got money in my pocket. Why you gonna watching me? I'm paying for what I'm paying for. But I'm just saying, just the other day, a couple weeks ago, we working up there. The guy walk up there and say, "I smell weed." I say, "This man over this job. He come to help us do some work." Now, you can smoke weed up here. You know what I'm saying? People got a medical marijuana card. And where's the other guy? He said, "Y'all all look alike." How we all look alike? I look different than that other man. I got uh, a full beard. This other guy don't even grow a beard. He light skinned. The other one dark skinned. How we all look alike? And then come down to racial profiling. I'm from Louisiana. I went to Florida. Went to Pennsylvania. You know, they wouldn't give me a job. They wouldn't take my Louisiana ID because my skin looked lighter, and then I ain't have no beard. I had a shaved face, and my skin looked looked darker than what it looked. You know, They made me had to go get a whole new birth certificate to get a ID for this state. I even get a job. I had to go temporary agencies. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't cash no checks for like 6 months straight. Then when I get my birth certificate, to prove what I am, it's blank. My birth certificate is blank. It don't tell if I'm an African American or if I'm a whatever I am. What am I? You know what I'm saying? Now, even when I was born back in 1960, like you was coming up around that age. You seen a difference. You first had black when I was coming up as a kid. A bunch of brown skinned people owned it a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden, all the businesses stopped, and then you started people from India. I'm like, people from India coming out here taking all the stores. Pick and Pay, Pick and Pay in Hammond, out in Coonville. You got one all over the place. Now you got one out here, Pick and Pay. Same thing. They sell marijuana and sell food. Now, we all getting ready to celebrate Christmas. But I'm just being real now, speaking. Now, everybody wants to celebrate somebody else's holidays. To celebrate your own holidays. You say the black man pull his bootstraps up. How? When you done messed up already. You're running people out the country, and nobody want to deal with America. America gonna fall just like Rome fell. Just like you get back to the thing about another thing, Spanish people. You holler you ain't got no black in you. Pull it up. You see on Chat GPT or Google it up. What do the Spanish people got to do with Arab? Spanish and Arab, what that got to do?
Spanish people have strong historical connections to Arabs. For almost a part of the Islamic world, to impact on the Spanish language, culture, and even their genetics. This created a lasting legacy.
See now, when Spain came to America, they bought. You know how you go to the Arab stores and they got the meat on the rack turning around, and they made similar bread. So they made tacos. But you see, like you look at people from Puerto Rico. I seen a guy out there. I said, "Man, you look like a Cajun from Louisiana. You look like you're an Arab." Dude said, "You look like an Arab too. If I look like an Arab to you and you look like an Arab to me, what did I tell you?" Now you go to Mexico. You could tell somebody from Mexico. You could tell them. You could tell where they from. Now you got to realize. Now when Christopher Columbus came to America, he discovered that it had people already here, and also he discovered that discovery of cocaine and nicotine in the mummies of Egypt.
Traces of cocaine and nicotine were found in Egyptian mummies, including Hindu Tawi by Svetlana Balabanova in 1992. This discovery initially suggested possible contact with the Americas, but the findings are quite controversial, with later studies failing to replicate the results, and contamination is often cited as a possible reason.
See what I'm saying? If this is the case, now it's been lied to about a lot of things. Oil, just like oil. America got regular oil, with oil in over in South America. Venezuelan oil, you got the good oil. You know what I'm saying? Now they selling oil to other people now. America, we're crumbling.
Today, we delve into the mystery of the cocaine mummies and explore the possibility of ancient voyages between Egypt and the Americas. In 1976, Dr. Michelle Lescott discovered grains of tobacco on the mummified remains of Ramses the Great,
suggesting a link to the.
Now this is some recent stuff. Now had a black professor. They told him they ran him away from the school, telling him he can't be teaching this to the people. Can't be teaching this kind of stuff.
Americas. This discovery faced skepticism, with claims that the tobacco contamination came from modern sources. Years later, Dr. Svelta Balabanova found traces of nicotine and cocaine in the intestinal tissue of several mummies, ruling out modern contamination. In 1992, 7 mummies were flown to Munich for further analysis. Each revealed the presence of nicotine and cocaine. One of these mummies was Henut Tawi, a priestess from around 1000 BC, whose remains also contained these substances. These findings suggest.
Now he tell you how they built. Okay, he can tell how they got the pyramids built. Feed somebody with some nicotine and some cocaine and let them build. They building happy. They ain't had to rush them. They ain't had to make them do nothing. The cocaine made them do it. The drugs, like people want to act like drugs just invented in the 1800s, in the 2000s, in the 1990s, in the 80s and shit. They've been around. We just don't want to accept that. They just want to accept when they came to this world, they seen the whole world, people living good, and they were living so fighting for this and that, and you're going to bring it back to the. They just being
the
real.
possibility of ancient transoceanic contact, with trade routes extending far beyond what was previously believed. Despite the evidence, the idea of ancient voyages between Egypt and the Americas remains controversial and continues to be debated among.
Now, why that got to be debated? Okay. Now, why that got to be debated? Now, the other people crew from all the way from over there to there. Africa, the oceans line up. They line up. Come on, man.
Scholars. Some suggest that now extinct plant species might have grown in Africa, explaining the presence of these substances. Modern research continues to explore these findings, using advanced technology to uncover more about ancient trade and contact. The mystery of the cocaine mummies opens up new possibilities about ancient civilizations and their connections. Thanks for watching. Share your thought.
And you go back to Google with this. Go to Google with it. So Google. What year did the Moors invaded Spain? Okay, the Moors invaded Spain.
The
Right.
Moors invaded Spain in 711 AD. This invasion, led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, a Berber general, led to the conquest of the Visigothic kingdom and the establishment of Al-Andalus, beginning centuries of Islamic rule.
See, I tell you now. Okay, it happened then. When was the next time contact that y'all meet each other? See, North Africa, North Africa, North Africa. And when the next time did they meet? When they hit America again. Now, see, Islamic. Now, if they say Islamic, now the Spanish had Islamic in them before they hit America. What they tell you? They tell you what you got in you. Be real. The foods. You look at everything. Come on, man. The moral history. Learn that, and you can't say nothing. What can you say? You got black in you from the Moors. 711 AD. They was doing something over there. You feel what I'm saying now? How can you knock it? It's here. What? Black Berbers. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. What treaty did the Moors had with the United States?
The Moors, the Sultanate of Morocco, had the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the United States. It was signed in 1786 and ratified in 1787, establishing diplomatic ties, safe passage for American ships, and trade access, making it the longest-standing U.S. treaty.
See what I'm saying? Now, without that treaty, they helped the United States 1700. They signed a treaty. and the Morris American Treaty from Morocco. See what I'm saying? That was the first treaty, unbroken treaty, right here. See what I'm saying now? That's what people don't want to see. They don't want to pull that up. They don't want to teach their kids this. They want to keep it that when Chris, they want to keep it like when Christopher Columbus come out here. He taught us how to do things. No, he robbed you. He took the skills from you and turned around and flipped them out. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. That's what's going on right now. When they deporting all them people across the border, you ain't understanding. You're deporting your workforce. Now, the people that come here, they send money back to their country every weekend. Send money. How much money that the Western Union losing by sending people across the border? How much money Western Union losing by sending people across the border? They're not so they can't work.
Western Union don't lose money when people can't work. They actually make money from fees on money sent by working migrants. However, they face challenges like increased digital options and stricter regulations, which impact their growth. And they've paid large refunds for past fraud, not for border issues. For financial advice, consult a professional.
See, they send money to their country. They send money back. See, now less money being sent back. These people working every weekend. I'm in Florida. I was in Florida working construction site. They sent my whole crew back to Florida. They sent me back to wherever they come from. They couldn't send me nowhere because I'm American. I told them. I said, man, y'all laughing and talking. And them people are gonna send y'all back. So you better save some money for yourself because you're gonna be going back home soon. You know what I'm saying now? And a lot of people went back home. Come to find out, some of the money they've been sending to the people, they ain't do nothing with it. So now you stuck with somebody mad at the family. Hey man, I've been gone for 30 years. I've been sending you money for 30 years, thinking that you building a house, you've been spending money on your own self. And that's the problem right there in the streets of the countries that these people are going back to. See what I'm saying now? How much money? Look at this here. They sending what? $49 to send money to them. That's $49 a million times. How many people sending money? How many $49? They send a lot of money out. I watched dude send a whole check, $1,000 every week. He sent to his people in Mexico. And people sending this kind of money. This how many they sending? Look, $10,000 at a time. They sending look 9,000 at a time. But they sending it. But you look at one thing. You go back to here. What you looking at? Right here, him. And this man here. Check him out. What are you talking?
Supposed to do. But that day has come. For the first time in decades, Washington has been compelled to offer an unthinkable deal. A desperate plea sent to the very two nations we spent years trying to strangle, Venezuela and China. This isn't sophisticated strategy. This is the signal of an empire running out of breath. The American economy has reached a state I can describe in one word: thirsty. Thirsty for heavy oil so badly that refineries could grind to a halt. Thirsty for cash to the point the government has to beg someone, anyone, to buy its bonds just to keep the lights on. And the painful irony is this: the two countries we punish the hardest are now the two countries we need the most.
The United States gonna fall just like Rome fell. You're gonna fall just like Rome fell. Thinking you don't need somebody.
But to grasp how seismic this shock really is, we have to look at the foundation slowly sinking beneath our feet. For 80 years, America rested on two absolute pillars of power: the petrodollar and U.S. treasuries. They were the tools of hegemony that let us spend without limit, sanction anyone we wanted, and still remain the center of the global economy. But do you know what the real irony is? The very instruments that built the empire are now becoming the noose tightening around its neck. The moment Washington froze Russia's sovereign assets in 2022 was the moment global trust in the dollar shattered. The world instantly understood something we had tried to ignore. This currency is not neutral. It is a weapon, and anyone could be next. That wasn't the action of a confident superpower. That was the action of a desperate empire that didn't realize it was destroying the foundation of power it had enjoyed for nearly a century. How exactly did America by its own hand maneuver itself into the position of having to beg the very people it once tried to crush? To understand why the Venezuela deal represents Washington's most humiliating U-turn in decades, we have to remember how America treated Caracas. For years, the goal wasn't to negotiate with Nicolas Maduro, it was to topple him. We seized Venezuela's overseas assets, froze their national accounts, embargoed their entire oil industry, the only lifeline their economy had, and even put a $15 million bounty on Maduro's head like he was a Wild West outlaw. Back then, policymakers genuinely believed Venezuela would collapse quickly, Maduro's government would fall, and America would regain control of the world's largest oil reserves. What they never saw coming was the backlash. Think about it. If you're banned, strangled, isolated, and forbidden from selling your oil in dollars, what do? Venezuela did the only thing it could. It turned to the rest of the world. They started selling oil in yuan to China, in rupees to India, and in USDT, a digital currency Washington can barely control. These transactions happened quietly for years, and then one day Venezuela became what I call the world's first real-life laboratory for a non-dollar oil market. A sanctioned nation proved to everyone that the petrodollar order isn't sacred. It only exists until someone dares to break it. But that's only half the story. The other half, the part that forced Washington to reverse course, is sitting right inside America's own refineries. Yes, the U.S. has plenty of oil, but it's light crude. Meanwhile, most refineries along the Gulf Coast, built half a century ago, were designed to process heavy crude. And guess where the heavy crude those refineries need comes from? Venezuela. Without heavy oil, U.S. refineries can't produce enough diesel. And without diesel, the entire American supply chain, from trucks, trains, refrigerated warehouses, agriculture, to containers. But Venezuela has in abundance. When Washington's energy advisors finally realized this, they understood America had no choice left, except to do the previously unthinkable: offer Maduro a soft deal. And that's when the unthinkable deal was born. The U.S. started peeling back layers of sanctions. They issued licenses for Chevron to return to Venezuelan fields. They sent secret delegations to Caracas. They offered debt relief, reopened shipping routes, and even discussed the production increases America wanted Venezuela to deliver. In diplomatic language, this is called constructive dialogue. This isn't diplomacy. Diplomacy is when both sides have options. This isn't a deal. A deal is when both sides have leverage. What's happening is the naked truth of power politics, a superpower de-escalating to survive. And what makes it humiliating isn't that America is shaking hands with Maduro, it's that America is forced to do it because its own economic structure backed it into a corner. While Venezuela, the country Washington once dismissed as a failed state, now holds part of America's energy future in its hands. If the Venezuela story exposes the fragility of America's energy system, the China story exposes something even more dangerous. America can't finance itself anymore. Over the next 12 months, the U.S. government needs to borrow roughly $3 trillion just to keep minimal services running, pay federal workers, fund the military, cover social programs, and keep the lights on in government buildings. But the critical question is, who is going to lend America that kind of money? The traditional biggest buyer, Japan, is dumping U.S. bonds to save the yen. You have to understand the context. The yen is at its weakest level in decades, and to defend it, Tokyo has to bring money home. There's no spare cash to keep buying American debt. Europe, they're struggling with recession, energy crises, high interest rates, and stretched budgets. Nobody in Brussels or Berlin can afford to take on someone else's debt. American banks, they're drowning in unrealized losses from the steepest rate hike cycle in 40 years. Those losses are so large that buying significant new treasuries would blow up their balance sheets. So who is left with both the money and the scale to absorb a $3 trillion debt issuance? Only one country remains, China. And here lies the excruciating paradox America faces. In public, Washington keeps talking about de-risking from China. They threaten 60% tariffs on Chinese goods. They beef up military deployments across the Indo-Pacific, talk about the risk of war over Taiwan, and label China the #1 strategic threat. That's what they say on camera. Behind closed doors, the conversation is completely different. It's not Washington barking orders at Beijing, it's the US Treasury quietly opening back channels and saying the words no superpower ever wants to say. Please don't sell our bonds. Please buy more to help us out. I know it sounds unbelievable, but this is the reality of power politics. Every nation, even a superpower, has moments when structure forces it to its knees. And right now, the entity holding America's financial fate is China. To grasp how dangerous this is, imagine the following. If China decided to dump even a modest portion of the hundreds of billions in treasuries it holds, it would be like yanking the main cable anchoring the entire U.S. financial system. That single move would send U.S. interest rates exploding upward. A sudden spike in rates would trigger a cascade. Housing prices collapse, stock markets plunge, consumer borrowing costs skyrocket, and the entire U.S. economy would suffer a shock bigger than any recession in decades. That is the power China wields, not through its military, not through missiles, but through being the last buyer big enough to rescue the American financial system. And for the ultimate historical irony, for years Washington described China as the rival we must contain, encircle, and curtail influence. Yet today we cannot fund the federal budget without money from that very rival. America put itself in this position through endless deficit spending and arrogance in weaponizing sanctions. When you use your currency as a weapon for too long, the world eventually figures out how to live without it. And when that happens, you end up begging the people you once threatened. That is the current reality, and the reason the China deal is the hardest pill Washington has had to swallow in decades. A superpower can flex military muscle, slap tariffs on rivals, talk about war and deter.
And he also knows once daily Xtandi. Xtandi treats metastatic prostate cancer that responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone.
Which dog matches your birth month? If you are born in January, your birth month dog is the Bull Mastiff, a true guardian of strength and calm power. This loyal companion symbolizes courage, patience, and silent protection. Like the Bull Mastiff, January borns stand tall against challenges, protecting loved ones with confidence and a big heart full of devotion and wisdom. If you are born in February, your birth month dog is the Rottweiler, known for bravery and deep affection. This loyal protector mirrors the emotional depth of February borns, strong on the outside, but full of warmth within. They guard what they love with unshakable devotion, representing true friendship, loyalty, and inner strength. If you are born in March, your birth month dog is the Boxer, a playful yet fearless soul. Marchborns share the Boxer's lively energy and protective nature. Always ready for fun but serious when needed, they balance joy and strength perfectly, showing that courage can live alongside kindness and a spirited heart. Comment below your birth month and see your dog. Which dog matches your birth month? If you are born in January, your...
Listen.
Yes, ma'am.
See,
Yeah, I just...
but in life, we should be ready to learn, all right, and relearn. We should keep learning, because what you are saying, you are not in accord with me. You are not in
Yes.
support that African women to date African American or to marry them, because you are just kind of twisting it around. Don't encourage your women. Don't what to do. Let African women be themselves. Just let them be themselves. You might not like the idea. So why are you trying to paint it, twist it, sugarcoat it, like African women make sure? Like, no, let people be. African women, come out from your comfort zone. Give room for Black American men that genuinely love you. The one that love them, let them embrace them. All right.
Yeah. So
I, for instance, I'm married, but my husband is not a Nigerian. Yes, it took me time to start learning his way, their ways, everything. And today, but I'm happy with my life. Let people be themselves. Please don't discourage them.
very true. I agree with you.
My sister married.
That sister 100%. Now I was just saying, if there is, there's a lot of people.
My sister married a Nigerian.
I disagree.
Hurricane Katrina
Not you, I'm talking
in New Orleans. So they shipped my sister to Dallas.
Don't say
So
that.
she met a Nigerian guy. She married a Nigerian guy.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, she married a Nigerian.
Yeah, so Ishi,
They've been together for 20 years. Yeah, 20 years.
somebody who's willing to actually compromise, all there are things that, they actually grew up knowing just so that they can actually make that relationship work, right? But there's some people that can't compromise the things that they grew up with just because of relationship. See what I'm saying? So I'm talking specifically to those that I can't do these things. You know what I mean? So if you can't do this thing and you want to be in a very good, happy relationship where you can still being able to also, I'm not saying that don't go out there and try, don't try to eat other foods or just stick to your own. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, once in a while, you can go out there and try and eat, something different. You know what I mean? Like once a year, twice a year, that's fine. But when you bring that to a relationship, then that you gotta understand that there's gonna be something that you're gonna have to live with like daily, every day. You know what I mean? If I have a wife, who doesn't come from like we don't have the same belief or same like maybe background. Every time we go to McDonald's, you buy food, we eat, right? So the next day we go, we buy it. So now, if that food right there, you're making me eat because I love you, now I'll start hating the food first. And once I start hating the food, which means I'm not gonna like you because you actually making me eat this food, and I don't like it. See what I'm saying? So that right there, you can end up having this cold war with your partner without not even knowing
Stop
it.
you there again. I'm gonna stop you. See, we have African American women who can cook. Especially the women in the south.
Yes, sir. Yes, friend.
I want to ask you.
We have African American women who can cook. Not all of them eat fast food. We have the responsible ones. Do you know that a lot of your African women these days, they don't even know how to cook? Like seriously, to be honest. There was a lady I live with, right? I stay with this lady in America. The only food she knows how to cook is groundnut soup. And me, I can cook varieties of food. I can cook Nigerian food. I can cook some of my husband's country food. And when I'm about to enter the kitchen, she's scared. She will think I want to take her husband. And I'm married. I'm just saying that when I first came to the US, some African women cannot cook either. Not all women can cook.
I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. The Americanized, Americanized African women.
But can they stop?
Right?
I wish y'all can stop making it seem like we all are westernized just because we live in a Western society. I'm not westernized at all. I know it. Like, look, respectfully, I don't even eat fast food.
Right.
I go. You know what I go do? I go to my island and I go catch my own food. We have islands over here. I go out and I go catch my own food. I go plant. I used to plant my own rice. I used to plant my own food. And man, we eat, even the dishes we eat are very close much to Africa. So when y'all say these things, I'm like, please, can y'all stop with this? We have more in common than you think. It's just you going around the wrong community of people who are disconnected and then wonder why you don't see no connection or familiarity.
And then are following.
Okay, can I answer FBA? I want to ask
FBA. If wants to speak, Aztec, just hold on, let FB speak.
I wasn't even done.
FB, sorry. You ever wonder why you see some people, some men, and they with some women, and you just wonder what did he see in her? Why? You ever wondered?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you know why?
Many people have their own different reasons.
Exactly. So you are based off of your perception about certain African women, you are judging them based off of how you feel about them. But you do not put in place or think about it why others find them very attractive and want to be with them. See, there are different types of attraction. When you find somebody, especially as a man or as a woman, you could just see a woman or you see a man and you just be like, I like her, I want to be with her. Probably or perhaps because of how she looks, her demeanor, how she presents herself, how she speaks.
My sister married a Nigerian from Dallas.
But another person that could just find her at that point, just be like, this is just who I want to be.
My sister married a Nigerian from Dallas.
Why is he after her? You probably are not seeing it the way he is seeing it. That is why I always tell people, like who you like. Stay away from who you don't like. If another person like that person, let them like that person. It's not up to you.
Dallas.
No. See, it's not about, you guys are misunderstanding.
No, I
right?
just don't like
It's not about judging. I'm not judging, right? What I'm trying to be.
No, but you're homogenizing us like we just this one.
Put out
all
a reality.
different foods. No,
all right.
No, I hear you, but like I said, depending on what region you go, some of us don't even speak the.
Important.
I don't be knowing who you bitches are. I just remember you because of that fucking wig. I remember you because of that fucking wig. Now came up. Start running your mouth. Came up.
What made you bleach yourself, ma'am?
You are a colorist.
What made you bleach yourself?
You are a colorist.
What made you bleach yourself? I want to know what. Why don't you
I can never ever. I'm talking because I'm naturally light skinned. Nobody cares. What you light skinned? I don't know. You look something else. You ugly. Cam up, girl. Cam up. Cam up. Small amounts of bleaching can wash your black away. Bye. You ain't cam up. Want. Fuck out of here, bitch. Just naturally cam up. Yeah, that's how I remembered you. You still ain't changed that motherfucking profile from that's over a year ago. Damn near. Fuck out of here, bitch. You can't compare. I know ain't no American bitch slayed your hair like that. I know no motherfucking American hairstyles ain't slayed your hair like that, bitch.
In Wilmington, North Carolina, there was in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Hey, Pennsylvania. Two of our guys are unboxing a brand new full HVAC system in our local warehouse, and it's in stock today. It's our end of summer warehouse sale, which means you can get one installed for $83 per month. 0 down, 0 interest.
Well, shout out to you then, babe. Somebody say you can get food. Well, I ain't talking about you then.
Okay, but you were generalizing the whole of Africa.
I seen a commercial.
I understand there's some small parts of Africa that are kind of poor, but most Africans in general, they have money to buy food.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you teach me something. Okay.
Well, did you not know that?
I did not know that. Listen, when I went to
That has to be
Nigeria,
trolling.
listen, I've been in Nigeria before, right?
Oh, okay.
And I ate at the Chicken Republic out there. And it was a lot of starving people sitting at the Chicken Republic waiting for somebody to drop a leg out there or something so they can eat it now. Like, that was true.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy, but hold that thought, baby. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. I'm finna go up. I'm going to let a couple people talk. I don't want you to go nowhere because you're a nice African.
Nice African. Okay.
Yeah, you know how white people say that's a good nigga. You a good African, man. That's what they be saying about us. Inca, what's
Why are
up,
people
Inca?
saying I'm lying? What am I lying about?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They gonna talk to you. Inca, what's going on, Inca?
Good afternoon to you, boss. It's NK, but it's all good.
Okay, where you from?
I'm from Florida.
Okay, shout out to Florida. You black? You white? What you is? Me?
Nah, I say a hot take that I catch a lot of heat for, and it sounds like you kind of align with it.
You white? Hold on, you white?
Yeah, white.
Huh? You say you white?
Yes.
Okay, what you about to say?
I was gonna say that I feel that slavery, in terms of Americans on a grand scale.
What? Get your ass out here. I want to hear this shit. He want to tell me.
Yo, what up, man?
I want to hear that shit. Hold on. B, what's going on, B? I want to hear this shit. I thought he was going to say something about the African, and I was going to cut him off then, too. See, African, this why I want to teach you African something. Even when white people, even though I be fucking with y'all and shit, see, I ain't finna let white people disrespect y'all or disrespect me. So when white people talk about y'all and stuff, say all these horrible things about Africans, really they talking about black Americans also, right? And I want to stand, man, what the fuck is this nigga? This nigga got a bag of food or something? And what Africans don't understand is they'll side with white people when they talk about black Americans. But see, black Americans, we understand how the white boy think. You get what I'm saying? So when white people talk about you, we know what they mean by that. Because just the way as they feel about y'all, they feel that shit about us. So that's why I just want to let y'all niggas know.
We side with the white man against black Americans.
Oh, yes, y'all do. It's a lot of you Africans that come. I'm sorry, but Mino, I'm telling you, Mino, it's true. Hold on, Mino. Belly, what's going on, Belly? Bell?
Hey,
How you doing? You're an African, too? You're an African like me, Nay? At the bottom?
I'm Ethiopian.
Oh,
my
okay,
God,
what's going on, my
so
Ethiopian?
supportive of this.
I can't hear you. What you say?
South Africans.
Okay.
They thought they were special coming here, disrespecting the rest of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how happy I am. I support you 100%.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is the right one, the South African, because they come here and like.
What the South Africans be doing?
I'm so happy to see this. They are not special. They should
Hold on, girl, calm down. Let her talk.
I'm glad.
Yeah, she from Ethiopia.
Yeah,
She
I'm
continue.
happy about this. I support you 100%.
Thank you, my Ethiopian belly. Now, what you think about the South Africans in Africa? How they be treating y'all out there?
They think they're so special. The South Africans.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard about like xenophobia and all that?
Yes.
So, yep.
I believe because you know what, Belly? South Africans
he's right about
they
this one.
got an arrogance to
about
them.
South Africans coming here and disrespecting us.
Okay, that's a problem against.
Hey, goddamn, girl, I'm gonna drop your ass, man. Why? Bill, why do West Africans and South Africans can't control themselves when they on the panel? Why is that? What they lack to you, Bill?
I don't know. They have that beef going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy. They come here on the FBA panel and disrespect the whole every African nation you can think of.
They do. They come on panel. They dog y'all out.
What's going on, bro?
Hold on, Jose. Goddamn, hold on, Jose.
Jose, man.
I'm so happy to see this. Go for it. More power to you.
Okay.
Honest. They're not that special.
Okay, Bill. Okay, well, shout out to the Ethiopian or white woman on the panel. Shout out to Bill. I got you, Bill.
What's going on, black man?
Hold on, Jose. I got you. Cheryl, what's going on, Cheryl? How you doing?
Joseph, not Jose.
Joseph, my bad, Joseph. It's your Jose. My bad. Go,
I'm just saying,
Joseph.
no girl, not even in Africa. Mina.
She's in the UK somewhere.
Shit, she sound UK-ish. What you got on the Joe shirt? You know you just jump in when you can. You know how it go. Joseph, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just chilling.
Okay, what you got on it?
Shit. Just cooling, bro, you know?
You ain't got nothing to say? You just cooling?
Yeah, I'm listening to y'all, so?
Brother, where you from?
Let me say this, brother.
Hold on, KJ. Goddamn, KJ, hold on.
Okay, that lady at the bottom is lying.
Which lady, KJ? Hold on,
lady at the bottom, she go from room to room and claim all these different countries. She lied. That woman at the bottom.
I'm not lying. This guy's a liar, bro. Don't
She
believe
lied. Hold on, she lied.
What did I claim? What did I claim?
You call about Minnesota? She's from not peoples. When you go to another country, she always from different countries. I know her voice.
Damn, KJ, God. I got food. KJ.
Okay, show me.
Y'all women be fooling
Show
me.
me.
That's why women be taking my money all the goddamn time.
No, show me the proof.
No, I believe KJ. Thank you, KJ.
Yes, I want to tell you.
Where am I actually from? Tell me.
She goes from room to room.
Where?
She said she was, what the folks in Minnesota?
What?
Somali.
Somalia. She was saying she was Somalia the other day.
Wallahi, I never
Girl,
said
you
that.
just fleeing all over the place, aren't you?
I never said
She goes from room to room with that bullshit.
Wait, show me the proof.
No proof it.
You know you do.
Then you.
Damn, thank you, K. I'm sorry, KJ, for.
I'm sorry, bro.
She's a liar, bro. I never said I was Somali.
I'm sorry.
She ain't no Africa, she ain't no Somalia. She claimed all these different
You said
countries.
I was Somali.
You
So
said
she does everything.
You know your voice.
Oh, this guy's a liar.
Girl, so you been. So hold on, Joseph. I'm gonna come back to you, Joseph. I promise. Ken, I see you. SA, I see you. And Jess, I see you.
No, but we need to clarify what he meant, because
He said,
hold on. He said,
they saying
he's
that
a liar. Why do you guys
you from multiple countries now, and I was being nice to you, and you gonna lie like that to me?
I'm not lying. Okay, I'm confused. What is he saying I'm lying about?
That you ain't who you is.
What did I lie about? He said
I don't know. You ain't from Ghana. You say you Ghana, right?
I'm from Ghana, and I'm from Ghana and Yemen. Always been that.
Okay, I got you. Give me a second there, Monuto. I got you.
I want him to write the proof.
Nah, don't worry about it right now. We gonna keep the flow going. I just got my eye on you, okay? I got my eye on you, sister. All right, Joseph, you there? My bad, Joseph. I'm sorry. Shout out to KJ. What up, American Made? Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Please get the pound of y'all. Can we get the likes up for me? And please, let's do the roses. I got 68 out of 125. Let's get that going. Reason why I do that because I love doing the gift goals and stuff, and the goals on here with the likes and stuff like that. But I always tell y'all to give the pound for sure before you give me at least. Ken, what you got on it, baby? Till Joseph get back.
Oh, I just wanted to say I've been to.
How can you just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave? 'Cause we shared the laughter and the pain, and even
she's a little fucked up.
Girl, you're welcome, Jasmine Bear. Unconditional loyalty that delivers nothing. That's the real threat, not Trump, not Republicans, but our own willingness to accept symbolic gestures instead of tangible outcomes. The guilt tactic is about legacy and identity. They tell us we're betraying the civil rights movement if we don't vote Democratic. They invoke Martin Luther King Jr.
Even though King was becoming increasingly critical of both parties before he was assassinated, they tell us our ancestors fought for the right to vote, so we're disrespecting them if we don't use that vote for Democrats specifically. This is emotional terrorism disguised as historical consciousness. But our ancestors didn't fight for the right to vote Democrat. They fought for the right to vote, period, which includes the right to vote strategically, to withhold votes when we're being exploited, and to demand specific returns on our political investment. Using our vote strategically honors their sacrifice. Giving it away for free dishonors it. The gaslighting tactic is the most insidious. When we point out that decades of Democratic loyalty has delivered subpar outcomes, they tell us we're being divisive, unrealistic, or secretly working for Republicans. They tell us that progress takes time, even though it's been 60 years. They tell us that we need to focus on the coalition, even though everyone else in the coalition gets to advocate fiercely for their specific interests, while we're expected to sacrifice ours for the greater good. This is classic abuser psychology. When you point out mistreatment, the abuser tells you that you're the problem. You're too demanding. You're not being reasonable. You're imagining things. Meanwhile, the mistreatment continues because you've been manipulated into thinking that expecting better is somehow wrong. Here's where delineation becomes revolutionary. When Black America says, we're not people of color, we're not part of some generic minority coalition, we're Black Americans with a specific history and specific claims that need to be addressed, we're rejecting the framework that allows Democrats to take us for granted. We're establishing that we're a distinct political constituency with distinct needs that require distinct policies. This terrifies them because every other advocacy group operates this way. The Cuban American community in Florida demands and receives specific attention to their concerns about Cuba policy. The Jewish community demands and receives specific attention to their concerns about Israel. Labor unions demand and receive specific policy concessions. Business interests demand and receive specific tax and regulatory considerations. But when Black Americans demand specific policies, specific budgets, and specific outcomes for our specific community, we're told that's divisive and unrealistic. Why the double standard? Because the Democratic ownership mentality depends on us accepting less than everyone else while delivering more than everyone else. We're expected to be the foundation.
She want to make like it ain't a double standard. It is a double standard. It's a double standard. I watch the people out here. I'm working for some people right now. They're rebuilding these houses. And then when they go to the bank to get a loan, they don't get what the other man gets. That's what I'm saying now. And then if you fix the house up, on the outside of the house, they're going to raise the taxes up. Come down to working. Now, the people they sending away from this country, them the ones that are building up the economy. You working. A person that works, they build up the money for Social Security for the people. Now, I worked my whole life. Now, I see people asking me, can you get food stamps? I can't get no food stamps. Once they put your Social Security number in that computer, they're going to tell who. They're like giving away free phones. Millions of dollars worth of free phones, tablets, computers. People come across the border, they get that stuff. Not just people across the border, people that's on Medi-Cal get a lot of free stuff. But working somewhere, getting a good wage on a job. A lot of people come here working for their people. They got businesses. They ain't making them about $5 a day. And they making that work. But it ain't working now because they're sending them back. That's a problem.
That you're helping Republicans win. But that's more ownership mentality. They're telling you that you're responsible for their victories, but they're not responsible for earning your support. That's backwards. They're responsible for giving you a reason to support them. If they can't or won't, that's their failure, not yours. Look, I'm not telling anyone to vote Republican. I'm telling you to vote in your own interest, period. If Democrats offer you tangible policies that address your specific needs, evaluate that offer. If Republicans offer you tangible policies that address your specific needs, evaluate that offer. offer. If neither offers you anything specific, then evaluate whether participating in that particular election serves your interests at all. That's strategic thinking. That's self-respect. That's freedom. We belong to no one but God and our community. That statement is spiritually and politically profound. Spiritually, it reminds us that our work
Okay, now, if people would get off that prejudice stuff, if all the brown skinned people would get together and all the other people would get together when voting time comes and don't vote, you vote impeachment. We ain't voting nothing but impeachment. You know what I'm saying? So they get it right. They ain't gonna get it right because they falling. The United States gonna fall just like Rome fell. They're gonna fall.
We survived Jim Crow. We survived lynching, redlining, mass incarceration, and economic devastation. We'll survive whatever Trump does or doesn't do. What we might not survive is another generation of political exploitation disguised as partnership. That's the real existential threat, becoming so comfortable with symbolic representation and empty promises that we forget to demand actual progress. Democrats feel they own Black America because we've acted like we're owned. We've accepted their framework, their priorities, their excuses. But ownership is a state of mind before it's a state of affairs. The moment we start thinking and acting like free political agents who can take our support anywhere or withhold it entirely, the ownership illusion collapses. They need us infinitely more than we need them. Without Black voters, Democrats lose elections across the country. They know this. We know this. The only question is whether we'll leverage that knowledge into tangible outcomes or continue accepting symbolic gestures and fear campaigns. The answer determines whether we're political partners or political property, and I know which one our ancestors fought for us to be. Unconditional loyalty that delivers nothing. That's the real threat, not Trump, not Republicans, but our own willingness to accept symbolic gestures. Don't vote Democratic. They invoke Martin Luther King Jr., even though King was becoming increasingly critical of both parties before he was assassinated. They tell us our ancestors fought for the right to vote, so we're disrespecting them if we don't use that vote for Democrats specifically. This is emotional terrorism disguised as historical consciousness. But our ancestors didn't fight for the right to vote Democrat. They fought for the right to vote, period, which includes the right to vote strategically, to withhold votes when we're being exploited, and to demand specific returns on our political investment. Using our votes strategically honors their sacrifice. Giving it away for free dishonors it. The gaslighting tactic is the most insidious. When we point out that decades of Democratic loyalty has delivered subpar outcomes, they tell us we're being divisive, unrealistic, or secretly working for Republicans. They tell us that
unit or resource that comes into that theater. Trump has carved out Venezuela for control under, and these boats, attacking these boats, under the U.S. Special Operations Command, and sidelining the, Navy admiral who would be responsible for controlling those ships, aircraft, and resources.
Oh, that's interesting.
Unprecedented. Never happened before.
Yeah, which adds to the speculation that this is leading to war. But it also suggests that Admiral Horsley did not resign his post because of the illegal blowing up of these boats and the people in them.
Well, it's a possibility. I mean, look, I'm an old sailor. I've been around circumstances where people said some questionable things. Even though he is the theater commander, he's responsible for the entire region. He meets all of these admirals, generals, presidents of all of these countries as the principal military representative of the United States down there. But if he were to see something as blatant as the violation of Section 18 .3.2.1 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which states as its principal example of following an unlawful order, firing upon shipwrecked mariners as a war crime. I'm not joking. It's literally in print. Yep. And this comes from a Nazi incident in World War II where they gunned down all of the survivors of a ship because they didn't want to be detected in that part of the world. We executed those Nazi commanders of that submarine that did this as part of the, as part of the war crimes.
Yeah, we also executed Japanese for similar things.
Absolutely.
I've got about 2.5 minutes here, I think, before I hit a hard break. I wanted to get into what's going on with Ukraine. It sure looks to me like Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump and their boys, whose investment company received a whole pile of money from, was it UAE or Qatar, very recently, that they are looking at business opportunities in Russia if they can just get Zelensky to STFU.
Yeah, this has been on the table since day one. We've heard this Witkoff make the statement that, there's a lot of opportunity there by sending Kirill Dmitriev, Russia sending Kirill Dmitriev, a person who was deeply steeped in the Trump-Russia scandal, to come and be the face-to-face representative for Witkoff. Witkoff is a real estate broker. That's why Trump likes him. This is the guy who wants 25 kilometers of Gaza, right, to turn into luxury resorts. He views Ukraine as a real estate deal, land to be sold off and negotiated, whereas Ukraine will get no input on it, and he is madly in love with President Putin. They are looking at, I have underestimated, there's $500 billion of sanctioned cash inside Russia. The New York Times reports that they think that they can make, this is the Trump team and Trump associates, up to $2 trillion off of deals in Russia. This is straight up money-grubbing treason. I say this as an intelligence professional, not as a partisan. Any other person in the United States who ever did this, this is the single most corrupt act that has ever happened in American history.
What astonishes me, Malcolm, in the minute we have left, is that the U.S. media doesn't seem to understand this. How do we explain this in a way that they get it?
Well, they understand. They just, the way the Washington Post was told not to report stories that are negative about Donald Trump. They reported one that was negative about Hegseth by leaving Trump out of it. But, there's eyes to be onto newspapers if people actually engage in journalism. Yeah. There are, everybody who would have been considered a Murrow in the United States news media is now independent and on Substack with me, right? Yep. The Jim Acostas, the Joy Reids, Katie Couric. Yep. They are not in mainstream media. Is not here to tell the story. People don't read the way that they used to, and they are looking for favor from their king, and they don't want displeasure from the king. But this is how Putin gained control of Russian media when he took over. Same with Victor. Right. The problem is the Geneva Convention doesn't cover this. The Uniform Code of Military Justice doesn't support this. Said it out loud. They want control of Venezuela's reserves. Violation of Section 18.
For a long time, if you went to the library in Wilmington, North Carolina, there was one thing you weren't allowed to research.
We were refused. We were rejected by the librarian.
When I asked about or inquired about 1898, they wanted to know why.
I was told that, yes, they had something, but they kept it under lock.